Now that immigration reform has been rushed to the top of the agenda by Democrats on a roll, and with the compliance of dispirited Republicans, we have placed the mechanics of reform ahead of a far larger issue that can't be fixed by legislation, but begs serious discussion. Putting aside issues like a path to citizenship and how to more effectively track illegal immigrants, here's what we need to decide. Do we choose to be a nation of individuals or of groups? Do we want to identify ourselves as unique people united first and foremost by our common identity as Americans, or by our race, ethnicity, or gender? Are we still a melting pot, or have we become a mosaic? Are we a composite or component nation? E Pluribus Unum was for most of 2 centuries at the heart of America's unique identity. Out of the many, one. But now more than ever, Americans are being identified by their various group memberships. The heart of the problem is the success of identity-based politics. And Exhibit A is last election day, when the left's strategy of targeting voters by group identity was a spectacular success. It was the key to re-electing a president with a lot of baggage who is now feeling his oats. When an electoral strategy works, it forms a blueprint for future campaigning and governing. So expect this strategy to continue unabated. The Republicans know it and have now been forced onto the immigration train as they flail around desperately, seeking to find themselves and grab a bigger slice of the ever-growing Hispanic vote that has gotten completely away from them. But forget politics. Where does that leave the nation? Well, the influx of illegal aliens that has now swelled to some 12 million by most estimates might not be such a problem if they had entered a society that still affirmed and upheld the need for a common cultural identity. That we are a nation of immigrants is undeniable. In days gone by, particularly during the waves of immigration in the 19th and early 20th centuries, people from all over the world flooded our shores and formed communities with their own ethnic identities. But they never forgot the reasons why they came here, the unparalleled individual freedom and opportunity that endowed them with a deep love for this nation and all for which it stands. And they identified themselves first and foremost as Americans, not Italian Americans or Irish Americans or Chinese Americans, but Americans. Indeed, the insidious influence of political correctness has partitioned this once composite nation into component pieces. African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans. We've become a hyphenated nation. Sure, we have to take hold of the immigration problem. We need to figure out what to do with those who are already here illegally, how to secure the borders going forward, and implement a workable system based on 21st century technology. It seems the best we can do is to be generous with those illegal immigrants willing to pay the same price for legal status as those who are currently doing so, and unforgiving with those who refuse to comply with new laws. A fresh set of laws without viable remedies and a willingness to enforce those remedies will either have little effect or make the problem worse, as it did 17 years ago when we granted a blanket amnesty to more than 3 million illegal immigrants. We now have more than 11 million. But all of that matters far less than the metaphysical question of whether we still value E Pluribus Unum. The answer will reveal the very character of this nation.